Senior women. Never use castor oil alone. Mix this oil to boost collagen and wrinkle reduction. You might be diligently applying thick layers of castor oil every single night, hoping to erase those deep wrinkles, but you're likely falling short of your desired results because you're overlooking one crucial element. While many sources tout castor oil as the ultimate miracle for aging skin, this advice doesn't tell the whole story. The most vital aspect for mature skin isn't just about adding moisture. It's about active cellular stimulation. The surprising truth is that while castor oil does an excellent job of preparing your skin's surface, it doesn't actually instruct your cells to build new structural components. You're essentially watering barren soil without planting any seeds. That's precisely why, in this discussion, I'm going to reveal the exact companion oil you absolutely must mix with it to finally awaken your collagen production. I'm Barbara O'Neill, a specialist deeply immersed in the world of natural health and vibrant, healthy living. If you've been looking in the mirror and feeling as though your skin is aging at a pace that outstrips your actual years, then you absolutely need to absorb this information. Before we delve deeper into this transformative understanding, please take a brief moment to share in the comments below where in the world you are joining us from today. Your location helps me connect with this wonderful community. Now, to truly grasp what's happening beneath the surface of our skin, we must embark on a journey inward. When we glance at ourselves in the mirror, we observe the fine lines that have begun to etch themselves into our complexions, the subtle softening of our jawlines, and a textural shift that feels distinctly different from how our skin felt 2 decades ago. However, these visible changes are merely the symptoms of a more profound biological process. The real narrative is unfolding much deeper within the skin's architecture, specifically in a layer known as the dermis. This layer serves as the fundamental structural foundation of our faces. And nestled within this vital foundation are exceptionally special, remarkably diligent cells called fibroblasts. I want you to envision these fibroblast cells as the master architects and the tireless builders of your skin. In your younger years, during your 20s and 30s, these cells are brimming with energetic vitality. They are in a constant state of receiving signals and actively dispatching essential materials. They vigorously churn out collagen, the protein that bestows strength and structure upon our skin, and elastin, the crucial component responsible for that desirable snap and youthful bounce. They are incredibly busy, intensely active, and highly responsive to the body's needs. Remember when you were young? If you sustained even a minor scratch, it would miraculously heal almost overnight. That was your fibroblast cells functioning at their absolute peak performance. However, here lies the biological reality as we gracefully navigate our 50s, 60s, and 70s. These remarkable builder cells don't simply vanish or die off. Rather, they undergo a significant transformation. They enter a state that scientists refer to as senescence. In simpler, more relatable terms, they essentially go into a deep, prolonged sleep. They become quiescent, noticeably quieter, and unfortunately, they tend to become rather sluggish. While they remain present, residing within the dermis, their primary function of building has unfortunately ceased. They are no longer actively producing the vital collagen fibers that are so necessary for maintaining the skin's tautness and firmness. And this is precisely where the common misunderstanding surrounding castor oil begins to take root. You see, when you apply a rich, heavy oil to the skin's surface, your primary intention is to provide much-needed moisture. And this is undoubtedly a beneficial step. Moisture is absolutely essential. However, moisture alone is simply not a sufficiently potent signal to effectively rouse a slumbering fibroblast cell. These hardworking cells require a very specific chemical key to reactivate their internal engines. Without that crucial key, you can moisturize the surface to your heart's content, but the underlying foundation of your skin will continue its gradual weakening. Let me paint a vivid picture for you to hold in your mind's eye. Imagine, if you will, a beautiful, once thriving garden in your backyard. Over the passage of years, the soil in this cherished garden has become excessively hard and deeply compacted. It has been baked by the relentless sun and repeatedly walked upon until it has become as tough and unyielding as concrete. Now picture yourself taking a simple watering can and meticulously pouring water onto that hardened, compacted earth. What precisely happens in this scenario? The water, for the most part, simply sits on the surface. Perhaps it might momentarily wet the uppermost layer, giving it a temporarily dark and rich appearance. But it utterly fails to penetrate deeply. It does not reach the vital roots of the plants. And most critically, water alone possesses absolutely no ability to alter the inherent structure of the soil itself. This scenario perfectly mirrors what transpires when you exclusively use castor oil on mature aging skin. Castor oil, in this analogy, represents the water. It is indeed a wonderfully hydrating agent. Its consistency is rich and nourishing, and it offers a protective barrier. However, if the soil, your skin, is compacted and its cellular occupants are in a state of dormancy, that beneficial oil is essentially just resting on the roof, unable to enter the house and do its true work. The soil, and by extension your skin, requires more than just water. It necessitates aeration. It needs to be infused with vital nutrients. It must be actively turned over and stimulated in order for new life and regeneration to commence. The fibroblast cells within mature skin have significantly slowed their activity because their internal powerhouses, the mitochondria, are running on critically low energy reserves. Furthermore, these cells are enmeshed within an extracellular matrix, the intricate meshwork that binds your skin cells together, which has unfortunately become stiff and unyielding over time. When the surrounding environment becomes rigid and inflexible, the easy flow of essential nutrients to the cells is severely impeded. Consequently, we face a dual challenge. The cells themselves are in a dormant state, and the very structure of their environment acts like a locked fortress, with all doors and windows firmly shut. This is precisely why so many women confide in me, expressing their frustration by saying, "Barbara, I've been faithfully using castor oil for months. My skin certainly feels softer, but the wrinkles persist. The sagging hasn't diminished. It's not that the oil itself is deficient. It's simply that the strategy we've been employing is fundamentally incomplete. We've been attempting to cultivate a vibrant garden by merely watering the pavement. We need to adopt an entirely different approach. We must actively till the soil, introduce potent fertilizers, and transmit a chemical message that is sufficiently loud and clear to awaken those sleeping fibroblast cells, signaling to them that it is time to resume their critical work." So, if castor oil is akin to the water, what then represents the seed, the vital nutrient capable of awakening this dormant garden? Through extensive research and practical application, we've identified the perfect partner, the missing link in this crucial equation: rose hipseed oil. Now, you might be thinking, just another oil? I assure you, this is far from just another oil. Rose hipseed oil occupies a unique position within the plant kingdom due to its exceptionally rich and distinctive chemical profile. It is profoundly abundant in a compound known as trans-retinoic acid. You may have encountered terms like retinol or retin-A, which are potent derivatives of vitamin A, often prescribed by dermatologists for anti-aging purposes. These are synthetic, powerful, and frequently quite irritating formulations. Rose hipseed oil, however, contains the natural precursor to these compounds, meaning it delivers the identical, rejuvenating message to your skin cells. It communicates the vital instruction to produce collagen, but it accomplishes this with remarkable gentleness, entirely circumventing the burning sensations or peeling often associated with harsh chemical treatments. This is where the true magic of combining these two oils truly comes into play. We are not merely blending two oils for the sake of convenience. Instead, we are meticulously crafting a sophisticated biological delivery system. Let's meticulously examine the role of castor oil in this powerful synergy. For our purposes, we'll designate castor oil as the preparation. Castor oil possesses a truly unique molecular structure, being predominantly composed of ricinoleic acid. This particular acid has a low molecular weight, signifying that its molecules are sufficiently small to effortlessly slip between the skin cells. It functions as a remarkably effective carrier, penetrating deeper into the skin than almost any other oil. When you apply it, it works to soften the rigid outer layer of the skin, thereby significantly increasing the permeability of the dermis. Returning to our garden analogy, castor oil serves as the hoe that skillfully breaks up the hard, compacted earth. It effectively opens up the pathways, unlocking the doors to the deeper layers of your skin. However, remember this crucial point. Simply opening the door is insufficient if no one actually walks through it. This is precisely where rose hip seed oil steps in, fulfilling its role as the activation. Once the castor oil has painstakingly prepared and opened the path, the rose hip oil gracefully follows, descending into those deeper layers. And because it is effectively hitching a ride on the castor oil's potent carrying capacity, it is able to penetrate much deeper than it ever could if applied independently. As the rose hip oil reaches those quiescent fibroblast cells, it delivers its precious cargo, which includes a wealth of antioxidants, essential fatty acids, and that highly sought-after natural form of vitamin A. This powerful combination acts like a perfectly tailored key fitting precisely into a lock. The vitamin A molecules bind to specific receptors located on the surface of the fibroblast cell, effectively turning on its internal engine. This process sends a clear signal to the cell to commence the production of new collagen fibers. Furthermore, rose hip oil also brings with it an abundant supply of vitamin C. It is a fundamental biological fact that you simply cannot synthesize collagen without vitamin C. It is chemically impossible. Therefore, the rose hip oil not only signals the cells to work, but also provides them with the essential raw materials that the builders critically need. Do you now perceive the exquisite beauty of this synergistic pairing? Each oil, functioning independently, is fundamentally incomplete. If you were to use only rose hip oil, it might not possess the penetrative power to traverse the tough barrier of mature skin and effectively reach the cells that desperately need its benefits. It might simply remain on the surface. Conversely, if you were to use only castor oil, you would achieve deep penetration, but you would arrive empty-handed, figuratively speaking. You would open the door, but you would have no valuable gift to offer the host within. However, when you combine these two exceptional oils, you create a complete and profoundly effective system. You have the vehicle to transport the message, and you have the potent passenger delivering that message. You have the water to soften the earth, and you have the seed poised to grow a vibrant new plant. This is the fundamental reason why women who transition from using castor oil exclusively to employing this expertly crafted blend often witness remarkable changes in their skin's texture and firmness within a mere few weeks. It is not some form of mystical magic. It is a clear and demonstrable manifestation of applied biology. We are, at long last, providing the skin with precisely what it has been silently requesting. Now that we have thoroughly explored the why behind this powerful combination, it is imperative that we also discuss the how, because even the most exceptional ingredients are destined to fail if they are not applied with the correct technique. Mature skin is inherently delicate. It does not respond favorably to aggressive treatment. Instead, it thrives and responds best to consistent kindness and gentle care. We are therefore going to outline a specific protocol that deeply respects and honors the unique biological needs of your skin. Step number 1 in this transformative process is warmth. This is a step that is regrettably skipped by almost everyone, yet it is arguably the most critical component of the entire regimen. Before you even contemplate applying a single drop of oil, I implore you to gently warm your skin. Why is this so important? Heat, in its gentle application, causes vasodilation, which is the widening of your blood vessels. This process opens up the tiny capillaries in your face, facilitating a surge of fresh oxygenated blood to the surface of your skin. Additionally, warmth works to soften the extracellular matrix, making your skin more porous and inherently receptive to the beneficial ingredients that will follow. My recommended approach involves taking a soft washcloth, soaking it thoroughly in warm water, never hot. We must never scald the skin, only achieve a comfortable warmth. Carefully wring out the excess water and lay the warm cloth gently over your clean face for approximately 1 minute. During this time, I encourage you to take a few deep cleansing breaths. Allow the soothing warmth to truly sink in. You are, in essence, preparing your skin like a sponge. A dry, cold sponge is remarkably inefficient at absorbing water, but a warm, damp sponge readily soaks up liquid almost instantly. This is precisely the state we wish to achieve for your skin. Step number 2 is the all-important application order. Once you remove the warm towel, you'll notice your skin likely has a healthy pink hue and feels beautifully hydrated. Immediately following this, while your skin is still slightly damp, apply the castor oil. You will only require a small amount. Castor oil is known for its thick and somewhat sticky consistency. If you were to use too much, it might feel unpleasantly heavy on your skin. Just a few drops, gently warmed between your palms, will suffice. Press this oil gently into your skin. This action serves to create the necessary slip and, more importantly, to establish the pathways for deeper absorption. Immediately after applying the castor oil, proceed to apply the rose hip seed oil directly on top. For the rose hip oil, you can use a slightly more generous amount, perhaps 3 or 4 drops. You will likely observe an interesting phenomenon at this stage. The rose hip oil effectively cuts through the inherent stickiness of the castor oil. As they blend together on your skin, they create a luxuriously smooth and supple texture. Step number 3 is mechanical stimulation. We are not simply going to apply these oils and then abruptly go to sleep. Instead, we are going to dedicate time to gently massage them into our skin. This is not solely for the purpose of relaxation. There is a profound scientific principle at play, here known as mechanotransduction. While that may sound like a complex term, it simply refers to the phenomenon where physically stretching or pressing a cell can actually alter its chemical behavior. As you gently massage your face, the physical pressure you apply sends a signal to the fibroblast cells, encouraging them to reinforce the skin's structural integrity. Think of it as a form of beneficial exercise for your skin. I want you to use your fingertips and move in small, deliberate, and gentle circular motions. Always ensure your movements are directed upwards and outwards. Begin at the jawline and sweep your fingertips towards your ears. Then start at your eyebrows and move upwards towards your hairline. Continue this gentle massage for a minimum of 1 minute. This deliberate action not only helps push the beneficial oils deeper into your pores, but also actively stimulates the lymphatic fluid to drain, which effectively reduces puffiness and promotes a more refined facial contour. Finally, we must address the crucial aspect of timing. You should ideally perform this entire routine in the evening shortly before you retire for the night. Why is the evening so particularly important for this process? Because your body operates on a finely tuned circadian rhythm. During the daytime hours, your skin is primarily in a defensive mode, working diligently to protect itself from environmental aggressors such as UV radiation, pollution, and everyday stress. However, as night falls and you enter a state of sleep, your skin undergoes a remarkable shift into repair and regeneration mode. This is the period when your fibroblast cells are at their most active and when essential cellular turnover processes take place. By applying this potent blend of oils immediately before you fall asleep, you are effectively providing your skin's builders with the necessary materials precisely before they commence their critical night shift. You are working in perfect harmony with your body's natural biological clock rather than working against it. If you were to apply these oils in the morning, the exposure to sunlight and wind would likely cause them to oxidize before they have had adequate time to work their magic and penetrate effectively. Allow the restorative power of the night to handle the heavy lifting for you. While we've thoroughly discussed what should be applied to the skin, it would be a significant oversight to ignore the equally vital aspect of what we introduce into our bodies. You simply cannot construct a sturdy brick house if the delivery truck never brings the bricks. The oils we apply externally act as crucial signals, but the fundamental building blocks for collagen absolutely must originate from your diet. There exists a direct and undeniable connection between the health of your gut and the appearance of your face. If your body is experiencing internal inflammation, this will invariably manifest as inflammation on your skin's surface. If your body is critically deficient in essential nutrients, your skin will consequently appear thin, fragile, and papery. There are two particularly critical nutrients that senior women are frequently found to be deficient in, and these deficiencies directly impact collagen production. The first of these essential nutrients is omega-3 fatty acids. Consider the cell membranes, the outer protective shell of every single cell in your body, as being intrinsically composed of fats. If you consistently consume healthy fats in your diet, these cell membranes remain soft, fluid, and highly permeable, allowing vital nutrients to enter the cells and waste products to exit efficiently. Conversely, if you do not consume adequate amounts of healthy fats, the cell walls become rigid and less adaptable. To effectively support your skincare protocol, I strongly encourage you to consciously incorporate simple, readily available sources of omega-3 fatty acids into your daily life. A small handful of walnuts makes for an excellent snack. Ground flax seeds, sprinkled generously over your morning oatmeal, are incredibly beneficial. If you are a fan of fish, opting for sardines or salmon provides potent skin-nourishing benefits. These healthy fats are instrumental in keeping moisture locked securely within the skin's layers. You will likely discover that as you increase your intake of omega-3s, the topical oils you apply will perform almost twice as effectively because your skin becomes far more adept at retaining them. The second indispensable nutrient is vitamin C. I mentioned earlier that rose hip oil contains vitamin C, which is indeed true, but it is equally crucial to ensure you are also receiving this vital nutrient internally through your diet. Vitamin C acts as the essential glue that holds collagen fibers together. Without sufficient vitamin C, collagen is inherently weak and prone to breaking down. You do not need to rely on expensive supplements for this. Nature provides an abundance of excellent sources. Citrus fruits, vibrant bell peppers, juicy strawberries, and cruciferous broccoli are all exceptionally rich in vitamin C. I recommend aiming to consume at least one raw source of vitamin C every single day. However, it is important to acknowledge that there exists a significant enemy to this entire restorative process, and that formidable enemy is cortisol. Cortisol is widely known as the stress hormone. When you experience periods of anxiety, worry, or find yourself constantly rushing from one task to another, your body floods with cortisol. Here lies a rather tragic truth. Cortisol actively destroys collagen. It literally breaks down the collagen fibers that are so vital for skin structure. Furthermore, it diverts essential resources that would have otherwise been allocated for repair and regeneration, instead utilizing them to fuel your body's fight or flight response. If you are diligently applying your oils, but simultaneously living in a perpetual state of high stress, you are, quite frankly, fighting a losing battle. It is akin to attempting to construct an elaborate sandcastle while the relentless tide is steadily advancing. The powerful waves of cortisol will inevitably wash away all of your hard-earned progress. This is precisely why I consistently emphasize that true beauty is never merely about vanity. It is a profound reflection of inner peace. We must actively seek out and implement strategies to effectively lower our body's overall stress load. This leads us directly to our final and arguably most critical point. Let us engage in a moment of honest self-reflection. How many times have you purchased a new cream, a novel serum, or some exciting new skincare gadget? You might use it with enthusiasm for the first 3 days, feeling a surge of optimism, but then inevitably life intervenes. You become tired. One evening, you skip the application. Then 2 nights pass, and before you know it, that expensive bottle is relegated to the back of a cabinet, gathering dust. The failure to witness significant results is rarely due to the product itself being ineffective. More often than not, it is the habit of consistent application that has failed. Consistency is, without question, the only true magic that exists within the realm of effective skincare. The fibroblast cells within our skin are inherently slow slow-moving, especially as we age. They do not suddenly awaken and spring back to action after a single night of application. They require a gentle, persistent, and unwavering nudge applied consistently every single night for weeks and months in order to manifest visible structural change. So, how can we ensure that you actually implement this vital routine? We can leverage a powerful technique borrowed from behavioral psychology known as habit stacking. The human brain inherently dislikes learning new, complicated routines. It requires a significant expenditure of energy. However, the brain absolutely loves patterns. You already possess a series of actions that you perform every single night, without even having to think about them. You brush your teeth, you put on your pajamas, you might even fill a glass of water. I want you to take your bottle of castor oil and your bottle of rose hip seed oil and physically place them directly next to your toothbrush. Not tucked away in a cabinet, not hidden in a drawer, but right there on the counter where you absolutely cannot miss them. When you finish brushing your teeth, that action serves as your immediate cue. You will no longer have to make a conscious decision about applying the oils. The decision has already been made for you. The oils are right there, waiting. You wash your face, you apply the oils, and you are done. By strategically anchoring this new, beneficial habit to an existing, ingrained one, you effectively bypass that part of your brain that is prone to making excuses. It simply becomes a seamless part of the natural flow of your evening routine. And finally, I implore you to consciously shift your perspective regarding this dedicated time. Do not view this routine as a burdensome chore. Do not approach it with the mindset of trying to fix a problem. If you stand in front of the mirror criticizing your wrinkles while you are applying the oils, you are inadvertently generating stress. You are increasing your cortisol levels. You are actively working against your own best interests. Instead, I encourage you to embrace this brief 2-minute routine as a sacred ritual of gratitude. Consider it a profound act of self-love. As you gently massage your face, take a moment to silently thank your skin for its incredible service and protection over all the years. Express gratitude to your body for its inherent resilience. Transform this moment into a quiet, mindful practice. When you consistently treat this routine as a cherished time dedicated to your own well-being, your nervous system naturally relaxes, your breathing deepens and slows, and your cortisol levels begin to drop. And when cortisol levels decrease, your body naturally enters a state conducive to healing and regeneration. You are actively creating the perfect internal environment for the beneficial oils to perform their restorative work. This establishes a positive feedback loop. You feel good while performing the routine, which encourages you to continue doing it. Because you consistently practice it, you begin to witness tangible results. And because you are seeing positive results, you feel a profound sense of self-worth and confidence. That innate confidence, that radiant glow, that is the true, timeless definition of beauty at any age. It's not about striving to look 20 again. It's about exuding vibrancy, health, and a sense of being deeply cared for right here and now. So tonight, as you stand at your sink, remember that you are not merely applying oil. You are actively nurturing yourself, calming your spirit, and taking empowered control of your health in a simple yet profoundly effective manner. You've made it. What you have just discovered today is far more than just a cosmetic routine. You have learned how to regain a sense of control from the very foundation of your skin's health. You have come to understand that your skin has not been failing you. It was simply waiting for the correct signal to respond. Let us collectively recall the simple yet powerful formula we have built together. Castor oil diligently opens the path. Rose hip seed oil powerfully activates the repair processes, and your unwavering patience ultimately completes the circle of rejuvenation. When you harmoniously combine these three essential elements, you are no longer simply moisturizing the surface of your skin. You are actively awakening the inherent life force within your cells. Now, I'm not asking you to undertake a complete overhaul of your entire evening routine tonight. that could understandably feel overwhelming. Instead, I ask you to do just one small, manageable thing. Choose just one piece of this transformative puzzle to focus on for now. Perhaps tonight you will simply place a warm towel on your face for 60 seconds and truly feel that comforting warmth. Or perhaps you will simply move your oil bottles and place them strategically next to your toothbrush, ensuring they are visible and accessible. Just do one small, intentional thing. Even if it takes mere seconds, this is precisely how every great transformation begins. It commences with a single, gentle decision to treat yourself with unwavering care and kindness. To help us cultivate a robust and supportive community here, I have a small request. If you feel inspired to take this vital step for yourself, please leave a comment down below. I would be deeply honored if you would type the phrase "ready to renew." I personally read all of your comments, and it brings me immense joy and encouragement to know that we are embarking on this journey together. Please always remember this fundamental truth. You are far stronger and infinitely more resilient than you might ever believe. Aging is not a decline, it is a profound privilege. It is simply a biological shift that calls for a wiser, gentler, and more compassionate touch. Your personal journey to reclaiming your vitality is only just beginning. I invite you to subscribe to this channel so that we can continue to walk this path of discovery and empowerment together.